Before the cameras started rolling, before the scripts were memorized, before the world even knew, two of Korea's brightest stars were about to cross paths in a way that would change their lives forever. Hyun, known for his quiet strength and timeless charm, had already built a legacy as a leading man. Son Ye-jin, graceful and elegant, had long been admired for her emotional depth, the kind of actress who could make an audience cry with just a single glance. When they were cast together in Crash Landing on You, 2019, it felt like destiny had carefully chosen the timing. He was calm, collected, private. She was warm, gentle, and radiantly kind. Together, they became something rare, real. In Crash Landing on You, Son Ye-jin played Yoon Se-ri, a South Korean heiress who accidentally paraglides into North Korea and lands, quite literally, in the arms of Captain Ri Jong-hyuk, played by Hyun. It was a story of separation, danger, and impossible love, and somehow, it mirrored what was happening behind the scenes. The chemistry between them wasn't written in the script. It was something you could feel. The way he looked at her, protective, gentle, deeply focused, didn't feel like acting. And the way she smiled back, soft, nervous, real, told its own story. Fans began to notice. Even in moments without dialogue, the air between them buzzed with emotion. It wasn't just a K-drama anymore. It was their story unfolding before millions of eyes. Behind the scenes, their comfort with each other was effortless. He would reach out to fix her hair before a take. She would laugh at his jokes, even the bad ones. And when the director yelled cut, sometimes they'd forget to let go of each other's gaze. A staff member once revealed, even when the filming stopped, they stayed in their own little world. It was sweet, like watching two people fall in love without realizing it. The rumors started slow, like whispers in the wind. Fans noticed matching accessories, similar Instagram filters, the same travel destinations. Coincidence? Maybe. But love rarely hides completely. By early 2020, Crash Landing on You had become a global sensation, and so had the speculation surrounding the two leads. Fans were convinced that something was happening off-screen. Every time Hyun looked at Ye-jin during interviews, his eyes softened. Every time Ye-jin mentioned him, her voice changed, warmer, more delicate. Dispatch, Korea's notorious celebrity news agency, stayed quiet for a while, but fans didn't. They compared travel dates, zoomed into background reflections, even analyzed photos for clues. And then it happened. Dispatch finally released photos of Hyun and Son Ye-jin grocery shopping together in Los Angeles. No disguises, no assistants, no cameras, just two people enjoying an ordinary moment in an extraordinary world. The agencies denied it, calling them close friends. But fans knew better. Because sometimes, love speaks louder than press statements. Even after the denials, the signs never stopped. They were spotted together at private events, exchanging subtle smiles at award shows, and sharing the kind of silent comfort that can't be faked. In December 2020, Dispatch did it again, this time, photos of them leaving a golf course together. And on January 1st, 2021, they finally confirmed the truth. Yes, Hyun and Son Ye-jin were dating. It wasn't just an announcement. It was a moment of collective joy. Fans cried, screamed, and flooded social media with messages of love and support. Because for once, a K-drama fantasy had become real life. In an industry where fame often destroys relationships, Hyun and Son Ye-jin chose peace. No scandals. No publicity games. Just genuine affection and respect. When asked about Ye-jin, Hyun said softly, "I feel comfortable and thankful to have her by my side." And when Ye-jin was asked about him, she smiled and replied, "He's someone I can lean on. He makes me laugh every day." It wasn't the grand words that made their love beautiful. It was the simplicity. The way they protected each other's privacy. The way they held hands in airports, unbothered by flashing cameras. The way they showed love without performing it. On March 31st, 2022, the impossible love story became eternal. Their wedding, held at the Grand Walker Hill in Seoul, was a dream, intimate, pure, and filled with people who truly knew their hearts. Sun Yi-jin looked ethereal in her gown, her eyes glistening with tears as she walked toward the man who had once just been her co-star. Hyun stood waiting, smiling like a man who had found his forever. The ceremony photos, when released, nearly broke the internet. Fans called it the wedding of the century. Celebrities congratulated them. Fans around the world shared in their joy. It was like watching the perfect ending to a love story that had started years before, except this time, it wasn't scripted. It was real. In November 2022, Sun Yi-jin and Hyun announced they were expecting their first child. It was quiet, humble, and deeply moving. Sun Yi-jin shared the news herself, writing, "A new life has come to us. I'm still in awe, but I'm feeling it every day. We're so grateful." Their baby boy was born healthy, bringing a new chapter of happiness to the couple's life. They became not just stars, but parents. And somehow, that made their love story even more beautiful. Hyun and Sun Yi-jin's story isn't about grand gestures. It's about timing, patience, and quiet understanding. They didn't rush love. They let it grow slowly from respect to friendship, from friendship to something deeper. They remind us that real love doesn't need to prove itself to the world. It just needs to be. Their relationship shows that even in an industry full of scripts and illusions, true emotions still exist. Love, no matter how famous the people involved, remains simple. Two hearts choosing each other again and again. Every time Crash Landing on You replays, it feels different. When Captain Ri holds Yoon, when he promises to protect her, when they smile beneath the stars, it no longer feels like acting. It feels like memory. You can almost feel their hearts in those scenes, as if they knew even then that their story wasn't going to end when filming wrapped. The show gave them fame, but love gave them forever. Some stories end when the credits roll. Theirs didn't. The beauty of Hyun and Sun Yi-jin's love is that it belongs to everyone who believes in destiny, in the idea that sometimes the right person comes at the perfect time, wrapped in the disguise of coincidence. When asked in an old interview if she believed in fate, Yi-jin said, "I do. Some meetings are too beautiful to be accidents." Maybe she didn't know it then, but she was describing her own story. Hyun once said in an interview, "Love, to me, is like coming home after a long journey." That's exactly what their story feels like, coming home. From two strangers on a set to life partners, parents, and forever companions, their journey is more than romance. It's proof that love can survive fame, distance, and the world's expectations. And when you see them today, sometimes spotted quietly walking hand in hand, away from cameras, living simply, you realize the truth. They didn't fall in love because of a drama. The drama happened because of their love. Every love story leaves an echo, a trace of emotion that lingers long after the final scene. Hyun and Sun Yi-jin's story isn't just remembered, it's felt. It reminds people that love can begin anywhere, even between two people pretending to be in love. And sometimes, the best endings aren't written by screenwriters. They're written by fate. So when fans say that Sun Yi-jin crash-landed into Hyun heart, they're not wrong. Because that's exactly what happened. And in that landing, they found forever.